exercising during a fasted state will increase lipolysis or fat movement in adipose tissue, as well as stimulate peripheral fat oxidation. This will result in increased fat utilization and weight loss, if that is what you need right now. For athletes and people who exercise regularly or who are close to their ideal weight, the effect may be different and perhaps not as beneficial. Today, we will look at which people can benefit from training while fasting, what types of exercise are most suitable, and how at certain times of the day one can even increase the beneficial effects of this practice. Hi, I'm Johanna Kölle, journalist, researcher, and health consultant. Let's look at who can benefit from fasted training and how it works. Sedentary people, overweight people, those who want or need to lose stored fat, people who are just starting out, or those who are training 3 to 5 times a week and must balance it with long hours of office work. These 5 groups can really benefit from this practice. After a certain number of hours of fasting, blood glucose will be regulated, and exercise will force the body to use its fat reserves as fuel as it tries to preserve muscle and liver glycogen balance. But be warned, exercising on an empty stomach does indeed help you burn more fat while you are physically active, but that will not contribute to fat loss. It must be understood that it is calorie balance that determines whether you lose or gain weight. Just because you burn more fat for fuel doesn't mean you are in a calorie deficit. People who want to lose weight may wonder why then exercise in a fasted state. Well, for metabolic flexibility. This is when there is a rapid shift between glucose and fatty acids during the transition between the fed and the fasted state. That is, you will be able to use either type of fuel, ensuring calorie burning efficiency as well as physical and cognitive performance. Metabolic flexibility can make you more sensitive to insulin, meaning that cells absorb glucose better and less insulin will need to be produced. For natural stimulation of human growth hormone. A study published by the U.S. National Library of Medicine shows that by combining exercise with fasting, this will have a stronger effect on the stimulation and presence of growth hormone in the body, more so than exercise alone or fasting alone. Human growth hormone is important because it regulates metabolism and electrolyte balance. It increases lipolysis and reduces fat accumulation. It also increases protein uptake, and it maintains the body's strength and muscle mass. Speaking of muscle mass, a strength training session, even when performed during a period of fasting, will still allow you to gain muscle. In fact, your body has the capacity to store plenty of carbohydrates that can be used to fuel high-intensity exercise. Be comfortable, because this will not deplete your glycogen stores simply by fasting. To gain muscle, you will need to consume about 250 to 500 calories additional to your basic needs. This requirement will vary depending on your body's ability to build muscle, as well as your age, training status, type of training, and even your genetic heritage mainly. For mitochondrial genesis. Restricting carbohydrate intake has been shown to promote mitochondrial production. Mitochondria are our body's energy factories, and the more mitochondria the body has, the faster it can burn both carbohydrates and fat. Most people who practice one of the types of fasting end up losing weight because it is much more difficult to overeat if all the daily calories are concentrated in a restricted time frame than if they are spread out over 15 or 16 hours. Now, weightlifting, high-intensity interval training, or sprinting all depend on good sources of fuel, such as carbohydrates. So these activities during fasting, especially at the end of a fast or at the end of a long fast, will work, but not at the 100%. One option is to do your cardio exercises like walking, jogging, or running at a 60 to 70% of your maximum capacity, or yoga or Pilates exercises. While strength exercises such as weights, high intensity intervals, speed workouts, or long runs, you may work better after breaking the fast. Not everyone has this possibility, but my point is that you can leave exercises at 60 to 70% of your maximum capacity for the time you are fasting, and more intensive exercises after the fast is over if your interest is to increase muscle mass or athletic performance. Training on an empty stomach first thing in the morning is not a problem, because even if you are fasting, your body has been regenerated from the night's sleep. If you train at the end of the day, it will not be as effective if you have fasted all day. The longer the fasting period is prolonged, or if you leave it until late afternoon or evening, the more likely is that your performance will not be optimal. The alternatives I suggest are that if you train in the morning, there is no problem at all with breaking the fast after training. But if you train towards the end of the afternoon, you can do what is called early time restricted eating, whose protocol encourages you to consume more calories during the morning and start your fast around 2 p.m. or the latest 4 or 5 p.m. This approach, explored by Dr. Satchidananda Panda, has been shown to be very effective in experiments for weight loss, fat loss, and cardiovascular health. The other advantage of training in the evening hours is that the body is wide awake and somehow the body and muscles are already warmed up, which will provide a good body readiness for training. Bottom line, is it or not beneficial to exercise in a fasted state? Well, yes, it is fine to exercise on an empty stomach, and you can do almost anything in a fasted state, and that includes weightlifting. Those who benefit the most from exercising while fasting are the people who need to lose weight, lose fat, or must alternate with long hours of desk work. In these cases, the combination of fasting and exercise is phenomenal. In the content box of this video, you will find a link to the article with much more detailed information. If you like this video, please hit the like icon. Remember to subscribe on the red button and activate the little bell to receive notifications every time there is something new to learn about Nature's Way in the art to heal yourself. See you soon.